Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome to BioInk Redemption. I like this game. I know it's been a while since we last played because obviously I exhausted the life and the death campaign content a long time ago, but we've been playing so much Plague Inc. and Rebel Inc. lately, I was thinking to myself, what's another Inc. game we could play? Which ironically enough is not related to the other two in any way, and BioInk comes to mind. It's pretty fun, especially life mode for me. It's a great game of deductive reasoning and taking some risks. So we're gonna go ahead and create a quick sandbox game with this, playing in life. I don't care if it's gonna be a man or a woman, doesn't really matter to me too much. For our objectives, let's say we're gonna go for 100% recovery. We're gonna start with a whopping 10 diseases for our patients, so they're not going to be kind of in the clear to begin with. And I'm going to increase the AI difficulty. It starts at 0, but I've already bumped it up to 3, and we're setting a time limit for myself of 450 days so that we are always under a little bit of pressure. We can start with at least a few bio points here. That should be no problem. System health will start off at 100% to begin with, and it would be like really nice if we could have some sort of upgrades listed out here, but I don't think that's something you can control in sandbox mode, unfortunately. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this. Yeah, life mode, of course, is going to be all about diagnosing diseases as rapidly as you can to prevent your patient's various different life systems from failing. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So it looks like the circulatory system is by a long shot taking the most hits. There is some damage to muscular, renal, and nervous, but they start off with 10 diseases, and by the looks of it, almost everything is here in the circulatory system. So I am curious, could we do, let's say, a quick electrocardiography and see if maybe that the AI has already progressed up to arrhythmia. One of the reasons I like to start with some of the higher end diseases, even though they're usually more expensive to detect and to cure, is if you are correct in your assumption and you detect it, you usually detect some of the previous diseases as well that led up to it, and it ends up saving you quite a bit of points. So we're gonna go ahead and run an electrocardiography, just based on what I'm seeing here with the dizziness, chest pain, and so on, and knowing that the circulatory system is taking this much damage, feels pretty good. I think it's very unlikely that our patient has a pulmonary embolism despite the chest pains over here, and the reason why is I know that that greatly impacts the respiratory system, which right now is not being impacted in any meaningful way. We do have headaches. There could very well be some chronic stress going on here, chest pain and so on. These are all very possible. They make sense. But it's also possible we're going to find out that some of those issues with chest pains are due to, you know, a heart attack and stuff. So we'll see if we can bypass some of that. What other things do we think might be going on? Well, there's some symptoms going on here in the musculatory system, including a skin rash and a fever, some leg pain, muscle aches, hard stools. Yeah, those could all certainly be playing a role. Potassium deficiency and a chronic muscle cramp is certainly quite possible. Metabolic panel is a very kind of shotgun approach to trying to diagnose a patient. There is quite a few things that are all tested for simultaneously, which could be good for us to start, but a lot of things we get tested for I don't care about, and let's say the digestive system, which we already know is fine. In the renal system, there is some leg swelling going on here, as well as some kidney cysts. What do we think could be impacting, let's say, the renal system as well as the muscles? Is potassium deficiency something that can do that? Not necessarily, though it does impact the circulatory system a little bit. Now, we were looking at chronic muscle cramp, but I don't think the skeletal system is taking any damage, no. So it's highly unlikely that this is playing a role. Skin cancer, I think we'd be seeing a lot more damage if that were the case, and necrotizing fasciitis, probably the same deal. So while there very well might be a potassium deficiency, I don't think that most of our issues are actually going to be found in the muscular system. I'm willing to bet that there are other issues in the circulatory system and maybe even in the what do you call it? The frickin' mental system? I don't know. Whatever it is. Nervous system, there we go. And the nervous system that is affecting the patient at the moment. I don't know why I just totally drew a blank on that just now, but I absolutely did. Let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit. Let's find out what happens to that electrocardiography. And sure enough, they had the arrhythmia, but not a heart attack. Doesn't matter. We disproved that one and found everything before it that could be playing a role. So I want to get rid of the arrhythmia ASAP. That actually will lock the AI from taking out the heart attack. I need 12 points to do that. We also probably want to get rid of the hypertension ASAP to prevent them from going for a brain aneurysm as well. But I'm going to need some more points, so we'll go ahead and do that. In the meantime, our patient has started eating poorly. I don't know how you guys started doing that. It's like you don't realize that you're in the freaking hospital, and maybe you should be taking this a bit more seriously, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and get a pacemaker installed. That'll solve some problems. We'll probably go for that next. That will take care of a lot of issues, no doubt about it. Waiting for a few more points to come into the immune system over Mia. I wish we could get upgrades. Upgrades are so key in the campaigns. They really make a huge difference. but it looks like we're going to be blocked off from that. Let's get some diuretics. Again, just blocking off the brain aneurysm as an option. Definitely want to pick this up ASAP. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to get that. Remember, our goal is to get to 100% recovery. Now, if the AI just keeps giving us diseases to cure, we'll eventually get to that 100% recovery even if we don't get rid of every single disease that our patient is currently suffering from. We could get rid of a few other things in the meantime. For example, we know that the angina is causing some issues. So is the high cholesterol. Take care of this with, let's say, some nitroglycerin and stuff, and this will be pretty darn quick, and it's 100% efficient. That takes care of some more issues. The circulatory system is right now, by a long shot, the most likely to fail. Back pain and pelvic pain. Now, that could be a whole bunch of different things. Could be muscular in some way. Could also be that the renal system, like the kidneys, are starting to shut down in some way. I kind of want to go for a kidney function test and just find out if that is in fact the case. But let's go for a bladder diary. It's another way to get rid of some urinary incontinence. Maybe we can block something off if that's at all an option. We'll see. Still looking to get some more points. Man, upgrades, wouldn't you be nice right now? Wouldn't it be nice to have some upgrades? Do we want to go for the high cholesterol and just solve this now with a strict diet? I mean, not really. Let's go ahead and move over here and get rid of the urinary incontinence. No. Hang on. What else? A urinalysis? This tests for a few different things. We could find out if kidney failure's already happened, though I really wouldn't be surprised if kidney cysts are the new big issue. A kidney function test would be pretty good. Renal system MRI would also test for a lot of things that I currently haven't actually checked for. Let's see. There's a fair bit of renal damage that comes out of this. It's possible they've gone all the way to kidney stones. I could see that being a thing. If you go for the MRI, it's only like 1 extra point, but it checks everything else that could be a problem, I think, in the renal system. So we're going to go ahead and do a renal system MRI. Let's go ahead and check for a bunch of those and just find out. I'm okay with the fact that the patient right now has high blood cholesterol and also has urinary incontinence. I mean, those obviously aren't great for the patient, but as far as I'm concerned, they don't really hurt the patient. They aren't going to kill the patient. Other things absolutely will kill the patient. All the more reason to check these out. Well, what do you know? You've got all of them. Okay. Right. Well, complicated. We could go for things that are cheaper, like the antibiotics, kind of to start to try and reduce the damage a little bit. I kind of want to get the kidney cysts, because if they don't already have kidney failure, they're probably going to. I'm not seeing any damage right now in the immune system, which makes me think that the AI probably has not picked up kidney failure yet. So getting rid of, let's say, the kidney cysts would be a good way to block off some of the higher damage abilities from the AI. So I think we're probably going to go for that once I get these points together, which should be right about now. Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and cut those right on out of you. Cyst surgery. Oh, but my kidneys have huge stones in them. We'll get rid of the cysts first. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, that renal system's taken some serious damage because of the malnutrition as well as the dehydration. That is going to be a pretty huge problem, ain't it? I want to get the alpha blockers, if I'm honest. They're obviously the most helpful, but this still gets rid of 19% damage for a bit cheaper, and I think I'd just rather go ahead and take as much as we can right now. So let's go ahead and get the urinary tract infection taken care of with the antibiotics. Damage still being done here. There's a very good chance that the renal system's going to fall. And if it does, of course, that does mean that other systems will be taking damage much more readily as well. Let's go for those alpha blockers. Now, it's possible they've already got the kidney infection as well. But again, no immune damage makes me think probably not. This system, well, I mean, it's at 99%. It's possible it is taking some damage. But if so, it's so little that it barely qualifies under anything else. So I don't think it's super likely. Poor genes. Only now have we discovered that you have been cursed with terrible genetics. Yeah, that is a thing. We could go for some lifestyle improvements to try and offset some of the damage that is being done. The problem is they're obviously very expensive. Hydration would be fantastic for us right now. Getting some moderate drinking could be pretty good. Nothing else will help me where I need it. If we're gonna do this, we want to get the proper hydration. But first, I need to make sure we actually cure as much as we can out of this. That said, it looks like they're still taking a stupid amount of damage in the renal system. I'm betting they actually have some sort of kidney failure going on. I'm willing to bet that they already have done that. We are now in the emergency room. Now, sometimes this makes things cheaper and better, but in this case, probably not. Let's see. I bet you have a kidney infection. There's a good way for us to check for both that and sepsis to find out if that is the case. Let's go for an infectious disease blood panel. It just would make sense based on how much damage they are actively taking right now, right? I just think it's highly likely that that's the problem. So we're gonna go ahead and give that one a shot, see what happens. A little worried about the circulatory system, of course, as well. It's still taking some serious damage, but what can you do right now anyway, right? Let's find out what the test results are, and oh wow, they've got all of it as well. Okay. Well, this does explain a lot of the problems. At 9 points, we can go ahead and get rid of this with the antibiotics. Now, I do have the issue where the renal system's going to fail. We could do a kidney transplant after the fact, but if I'm going to do a kidney transplant, I would like to do that after we've already more or less gotten it cured, so that it won't be immediately taking a load of damage once again. The circulatory system is about to fail here as well, which is quite scary. Now, let's keep in mind, as we cure some things like sepsis, we get a lot of recovery progress. So, we don't, again, have to have everything cured in the patient. We just have to fix enough of the high-hitting items to be okay. So, intensive care, if I wanted to get, let's say, a kidney transplant, this is a thing we could do. It would take 14 points, but it would get us another 20% boost up there. We also have heart issues still because I didn't deal with the cholesterol, but I think that's okay. Let's just go ahead and get all of these extra points. Being in the emergency room is certainly quite nice. Let's get this taken care of now, so we can reduce how much damage is being done across the board. Still taking some pretty serious damage. I'm amazed, actually. How much more damage are you freaking taking here? The AI really, really wants to kill this, don't they? Well, let's go for the bladder training, or no, this is only 1 point, but it goes a lot faster, so we'll do that. That takes care of the damage actively being done in the renal system. It looks like the muscular system and the circulatory system are the ones that are now taking the most damage. So beyond that, what else do we have? Is there a chance that you got the brain aneurysm? Probably not, given that, well, I take that back. It is possible. A fair bit of damage has been done. Do we think you actually got the brain aneurysm after all? I would hope not. I bet you have a stroke. A stroke would explain quite a few things. Lots of nervous system damage, lots of circulatory system damage. But the muscular pain, this is also an issue. Could it be that you went all the way over here toward post-phlebitic syndrome? This would explain a lot. Ultrasounds would check for all of that. Let's go for it. See what's going to happen. Patient's still very much in danger of death. If we can't save the muscular system, I think that the patient is, in fact, going to die. Found deep vein thrombosis, so that is a thing. Need more points, though, if I'm going to make this one work. If we can cure at least a couple more things, I think we can save this patient. Albeit barely. Let's go for the clot busters. We know that they did not get post-phlebitic syndrome, so that's good, but this will reduce the amount of damage being done in a couple of places. I need more points to cure the last round of stuff. We're very close. Randomly evolved fast diagnosis, so we diagnose things a heck of a lot faster. Well, that is nice. I don't think... you might have chronic muscle cramps. What is this causing damage to? Again, no damage to the skeletal system. No, there is some damage now. Let's go ahead and check and see with a physical exam if you've got the chronic muscle issues. We'll spend some more points to get rid of the anticoagulants. A heart transplant could be nice. There's the chronic muscle cramp. So if I had a few more points, we could save some of that. We're at 88%, 94%. The patient is on the way out, getting a little bit close here. If we can just get a few more points together, we might be able to save our patient here. Very, very close, though. Let's go for the aspirin. It is a faster solution. I'd rather just do that. And let's go for the potassium supplements. I think this is enough to win the game. It's close. The patient is losing health very rapidly. The muscular system and the circulatory system are gone. The renal system is about to go for the second time, but it doesn't matter. I cured enough, and I beat the awful, awful AI. We have quite a few days left. It's only been 179 days, so it turns out 450 was excessive at the end of the day. 124 PIO points spent, 233% diagnosis efficiency. Pretty darn good. Treated 13 diseases. They started with 10, so, yeah, wow. They definitely evolved a few more, but we got on top of it, 2,985 points. I don't even know if that's good, to be honest, but it seems to be okay. Well, that was certainly quite fun. Yeah, I like Bio Inc. I mean, we could probably ramp up the difficulty a little bit more. Upgrades would obviously make my life a heck of a lot easier if I could find a way to turn those on. Wish that I could. Or, of course, you know, next time we could just kill a patient. I'm not sure. But every once in a while, I think I'll just play some Bio Inc. Redemption and just tease my brain a little bit. It's quite a fun game. I really do enjoy playing it. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.